All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to Trade Talk. Connor, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you, Scotty. How was your week?
It's been not too bad. Yeah, I would not great, but not too bad. So, and I would say yours has been a little turbulent as well.
Yeah, mine has been bad. Took a couple of bad trades. Didn't do the risk management properly and suffered. So I should have lost 4%, but I lost 8%. So that was my own bad through me not being careful enough with my trade that I put on. And that's that. I learned my lesson.
And you were saying you were a little bit tired, sort of overly than you would normally trade as well. That was sort of
Yeah,
something.
took the trade right before bed, and maybe I wasn't concentrating on my risk management, and I took it, and I've got to own it. So for this week, next week, just so I don't try and revenge trade, I'm just going to step away from the charts and just do some back testing.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same because I sort of took a few subpar trades, lower risk but just silly, and burned through some profits, and it's just not necessary. So what we'll do, guys, next week we'll still present some, what happened in the markets, if anything good happened. Right now there's not a lot to talk about, but we'll also go through a few back testing ideas, what it's all about and things. We've done videos on that before. But we'll just show you, I guess, how you deal with a losing streak, so to speak. Like what you should do instead of continuing to trade under emotional state, and then usually that means losing more money. So,
But just in saying what we're talking about, there's been people who've taken a lot worse trades than us this year, and
yeah, very very true on that as well. We're back. It sounded like we have had a few issues with Skype, but it sounds like we've got it again. I was about to pause the video, but we're okay. We're going to soldier on.
Yeah.
Everyone's back. But yeah. Speaking of bad
Bitcoin traders,
look, I think let's just get into Let's just show the viewers what we're talking about. So, yeah. So this is the daily chart here, guys. This is the futures. This is pretty telling. So. It was holding 6,000 for quite some time, and it was very very sideways. It was almost quite unusual in the sense that no one was really making a move, and then things really started to unfold. I believe the ETF decision did not go through, and I think a lot of people are pretty hopeful. I know at the prop firm that I'm at, I'm not currently at, but they were, they all get paid in Bitcoin, so they're all pretty hopeful, and it did not work out, and now it's sort of at another crossroads. I mean, will it go lower? The daily chart's pretty telling. So, wow. Okay, you had the yearly up, which was probably even better. I might bring that up actually, just to I'll bring the weekly up. That should show exactly what has sort of been going on. Okay. What's your sort of take on this, Connor? I mean, where we're currently at.
Well, look, it's nearly been a year since it was 20,000. Okay, so December last year it was 20,000 US dollars. That's US.
Yep.
Okay. Now to date, it's in late November you're looking at 4,200 or 4,300. It's at 4,283.
Yeah.
So we'll just call it 4,200. So that's significant drop.
Yes, you can. I've got the weekly, and it is If someone bought into this and wrote it up and thinking, you have a lot of pumpers, even on YouTube, they allow it, and they have experts saying, because I subscribe to a few, and it's being bombarded right now with this guy says 50,000, John McAfee. Apparently, if it doesn't get to like 50,000 by the end of 2020, he's going to eat his own penis or something. So that's how confident he was. So you've got some crazy people making some, illogical sort of comments, and it's driving things a little bit. But now it seems that reality's hitting, because it has broken down. Like on the weekly chart, it's pretty uncanny now with the breakdown of where it was holding pretty strong at just over 6,000. Now it's like, well, who
Yeah,
knows?
look, I'm not an advocate for regulated markets, but I think this is a perfect example of to see what happens to people when markets aren't regulated and there's a few players pushing the price, a few whales around
Yeah, yeah.
pushing the price, and they hedge the price, well, not hedge, but push the price against each other. So, hey, Scotty, you buy I'll buy your Bitcoin, and then I'll sell it back to you, and then you sell it back to me, and then I sell it back to you, and we'll watch people come in off the sidelines, and then when we decide that it's up too high, then we'll sell everything.
Yeah.
That has happened. Like that's I can't name a specific time that it's happened here, but this is what happens in these unregulated markets.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it's all very just. It's unfortunate for the people who are sitting and holding and thinking that, because now it's a bit of an area where there's some support, but um, it all looks bearish really now. So if you were someone who just have a lot of the technicals, you'd say, well, this is sort of it'd have to take some very strong positive news. I mean, you need that hysteria again, but it's not going to happen because obviously
Too many people have been burnt. It's such a small market,
yeah,
and the mums and pops got involved.
yes,
And you should, like, I mean, I remember going down to my service station and seeing the two people working at the service station devastated when they were talking about Bitcoin, how much they lost.
yeah,
And I can't ever remember anyone walking past anyone in the street talking about stocks, how devastated they are, and stocks, how devastated they are in Forex. Bitcoin, I know a lot of people, I'm sure some of your friends have, they just got burnt in the market. And I don't see any of them getting their confidence back to go in and have a second dip.
no, it's pretty much like the .com thing back in '99. That was really when we went around, like obviously old enough. So it just seems that the hysteria, but it was even worse because now the internet is so prolific now. Like it was everyone on Facebook, it was everyone everywhere. Like, and people were just like buy, and it's just like it was just unreal the amount of just pandemonium to get in, and you can see that on the chart there. And I think we commented on it a lot because everyone was making money and they were like, get on board. And I think I could find some Trade Talk videos like from that, and we would have absolutely said like, well, it is going to come down. The chart just does not do that forever. Like
Yeah. We were talking about that at about 14,000.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Then it got up to 20,000. But I mean, that was always coming. Like you don't need to be.
Yeah.
It's not like we're experts. We just saw that it was on a local news station. It was on Today Tonight here, and when it starts, Today Tonight starts telling you to buy stuff, it's probably time to start selling. But let's not say that, like, I mean, we're not taking a big stab at the Bitcoin people, because you look at the big stocks, the FANG stocks at Facebook, Amazon, Netflix and Google, and how they've performed this year. And those have been quite pathetic. They've barely got up for the year. It's been very volatile, and now they're at a low. I think it's at a yearly low now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So
I've got the chart up
everyone's sort of feeling the pain here.
Yeah.
And you'd have to be pretty good to be making profits.
Yeah, you would. Like, it was a perfect segue. I actually already had the chart up just as you were talking about it, because and a lot of, obviously these are the massive market cap stocks, so a lot of people would have piled in here, and I think Tesla is similar as well. I might just bring that up because obviously I think there's a lot of individuals that have flooded into Tesla too.
Aren't they making him step down? Are they making Elon Musk step down? Something I heard.
He's not on the board. He's a CEO still, but they're restricting his ability to make comments on Twitter because he got fined for that.
Yeah,
they were not a fan of how he sort of said privatization. I think he was just in a mood that the short sellers were really pounding the stock, and he was just like, well, guess what? I'm gonna just do this, and it's not real. I mean, we haven't, back in the day, this stuff wouldn't have happened because Twitter wasn't really around. But I mean, someone like him is
Yeah, he relinquished his role
Yes.
back in October this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just a classic example of a genius who's not particularly good at running a business. That happens all the time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like often the two don't meet.
That's right. And I watched that Joe Rogan podcast with him, and he is very out there. Like he's sort of, you're right. He doesn't. There's no filter, it seems. So when it comes, well, it's interesting with the 1 year. It's down 3.65%. So it's not catastrophic, but if someone was heavily invested in this, and I think Americans do it well. They borrow money, they throw it into stocks. There's they're borrowing money to do this. I think Americans do it the best. So definitely it's interesting, when things really start turning a bit more after Christmas, credit card bills coming in. Who knows? Donald Trump, what's he going to sort of do? So we'll see what happens. I mean, we don't have any trade ideas in regards to this, but it's certainly something to watch, and that's why FX is good, because you're very flexible. You don't have to be heavily involved in one particular currency. You can just sort of go from one to the other if it's easy to do so. It's not like you have to hold.
It's recession proof.
Yeah, it is. And Ray Dalio talked about 2019 as well in a couple of videos on YouTube. So it's just something to watch potentially, and how the US dollar is going to behave. And they've got issues there, like you've discussed before, Connor, with their printing money, just overboard, just more and more of it, and more and more of it, and
yeah,
the debt situation. So
yeah, now it's getting to that level now that a lot of the state governments are getting completely broke, and it's always steps it up. So last time it was with the .com bubble, the stock market sort of got in and started to buy again to give people consumer confidence. And then with the real estate bubble, the government got involved to give people consumer confidence again. Now this time, if there's, I don't know what's higher than the government, maybe the Space Force.
Oh yeah,
Donald Trump's Space Force is going to have to get in and
they might have to move.
Start to give confidence again, because we've got no one else to do it.
No, that's true. It is going to get to the point where there's no rescue, and that's right.
Yeah.
Who knows when exactly this will happen, but it's something to really pay attention to. Obviously, I've got the gold chart up here. That's an area that is of interest to people who have predictions of doomsday type thing. But there's not really a clear. I mean, if you just bought, you just buy and hold. You wouldn't sort of, I mean, looking at the chart now, it's not really pretty, but it's pretty low. So it's not really high. So, but again, from a technical, it's sort of the weekly is interesting. How that candle closed on the week. Okay, that's pretty bearish. So, but anyway, now we're pretty close to the time, because I put this on Camtasia as well, guys. So I try and we don't want to waffle too much, but I think that was an interesting few points raised as well, Connor.
Yeah.
And there wasn't anything on the chart that you're sort of,
No. I'll let you. We'll let you know next week what's going on. But there's nothing on the chart.
I agree. So guys, be safe. Don't overtrade. Don't take silly setups. And we'll be back next week with a few backtesting ideas and potential trade ideas if there's anything. But thanks again, Connor, for joining us. Much appreciated.